We're going to go over the anatomy and physiology of the cardiovascular system. So the first thing we're going to go over is blood. So just remember that the adult male has 5 to 6 liters of blood and the adult female has 4 to 5 liters. Another important thing to remember is that blood has 3 general functions: transportation, regulation, and protection. So the first one we're going to go over is transportation. So blood transports oxygen from the lungs to the cells of the body and carbon dioxide from the body cells to the lungs. Next one we're going to go over is regulation. So circulating blood helps maintain pH through homeostasis of all body fluids, and body helps regulate pH and body temperature. So the last blood function is protection. So blood can clot, which protects against excessive loss. Another thing to remember is white blood cells protect against disease. So we just went over blood. Now we're going to go over the components of blood. Now, each component of blood has specific functions that are critical to a patient's health and survival. This includes control of bleeding by clotting, delivery of oxygen to the cells, removal of carbon dioxide from the cells, removal and delivery of other waste products to organs that provide filtration and removal, such as kidneys and liver. These components include plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. So I know that this is a shitty drawing, but just bear with me. So whenever you let blood sit for a while, usually it'll separate into these 3 main categories. And the first one is plasma, and this contains dissolved nutrients that carry certain crucial proteins, such as clotting factors. The next thing that's separated, this is really, really small. These are the leukocytes, which is the white blood cells, and platelets. And the white blood cells fight infection, and the platelets form clots. The red blood cells, also known as the erythrocytes, contain specialized molecules called hemoglobin that bind to oxygen and are responsible for oxygen delivery to the cells. So now we're going to go over the blood vessels, and this includes the arteries, the veins, and the capillaries. So the first one we're going to go over is the arteries. And this is any blood vessel carrying blood away from the heart. So you have your carotid, which is on your neck. You have your brachial artery, which is right here. Your radial is right here. Femoral is right here. Popliteal is behind your knee. Posterior tibial is on your lower leg, and the dorsalis pedis is right here.
Penis?
Yes. Okay, so now we're going to go over the coronary arteries. You can see they're right there. And they are the blood vessels that supply the muscle of the heart, or the myocardium. And then we have the aorta, which is the largest artery in the body, and it transports blood from the left ventricle into the systematic circulation. So now we're going to go into the veins, and a big difference between the artery and the veins are that the veins have a valve and the arteries do not. 3 veins we're going to go over: there's the vena cava, superior and inferior, there's the jugular, and then there's the median basilic. So the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava both return blood into the right atrium, right here. Next vein is the jugular vein, and it goes right into the superior vena cava, which is right here. Last vein we're going to go over is the basilic vein, and this is a common site of intravenous catheter insertion. So now we're going to get into the capillaries, and these are thin-walled microscopic blood vessels where the oxygen or carbon dioxide and the nutrient or waste exchange with the body cells takes place, and this is located closer to the skin. So now we're going to go into the autonomic nervous system, which plays a major role in controlling the vessel diameter. And the vessel diameter is actually a factor in the pressure within a blood vessel. So then we have the sympathetic nervous system, and this prepares the body to expend energy, which allows the blood vessels to constrict. And then we have the parasympathetic nervous system, and this allows blood vessels to return to a relaxed state.